So I'm pregnant, guys. And guess what? I'm literally almost 7 months pregnant. At 28 years old, if you told me this would have happened, as a matter of fact, if you told me this would have happened 7 months ago, I'd have said to you, nah. So I'm a Jamaican living in London, and I've had fertility issues from I was 28 years old. Now, anyway, I migrated here, and in February of this year, my consultant, my specialist, advised me that my ovaries had stopped working from 2019. So can you imagine my dismay? Imagine, I didn't know this. I took tests, right? And yet no one explained it to me from 2019 that my ovaries had stopped working. So when he said that to me, I felt like my heart was about to stop, you know? But then he said, don't worry, there's hope. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to get you on a tablet called cabergoline, you know, to lower your prolactin levels, because that was actually my issue, my fertility issue that was happening. It was that, guys, you know, it was that my prolactin was too high. What is prolactin? That's the hormone that regulates breast milk, you know, to lactate. Yes, it regulates breast milk and so on when you're about to give birth, or, you know, of course, when you have your child or children and you're breastfeeding. So it affected my fertility. So he said he was going to put me on those tablets, cabergoline, for 6 months, and then after that he would have sent me to the fertility clinic to, you know, look into like IVF treatments or whatever other treatments that there are I could look into. Apart from that, he gave me just 1 year in which to have that child, because I was nearing 40 at that time. So May 1st of this year, 2023, I became 40 years old. So can you imagine how in my mind I'm like, oh my God, so my fertility has dwindled. And I'm like, but I want to have a child, so what am I going to do? I'm like, okay, I'm going to see if I can find a suitable person to be a sperm donor. Yes, guys, I know it sounds crazy, but until you are nearing 40 years old, call it 40 years old, right? But until you're 40 years old, never been pregnant, have been told by so many specialists that it's almost impossible for it to happen for you, then you kind of get desperate. And they said desperate times call for desperate, and they said desperate times call for desperate measures, right? So I met someone who I'm like, okay, he has children and he has by different women. I'm like, well, maybe he would be a good candidate. Plus, you know, I would hear him speak about all his trying to see his children or seeing his children or being with his children. I'm like, okay, so this is a better option than going to a bank to get a donor that the child would never know. So I'm saying, even if we should never have a relationship, at least the child, I am thinking in my mind, would have a relationship with his dad, right? Because of course we want children to have both parents. It's ideal to have a two-parent household if of course there's love and care and affection and understanding and all of that, you know. Because if it's a toxic environment, then might as well be a single mom or a single dad, because that would not have been good for the child anyway. So guys, yeah, hold on, where is it? So let me show you. Even though I'm 7 months pregnant, so although I'm 7 months pregnant, I still took a pregnancy test just now to show you. Can you see that, guys? Pregnant, very pregnant, and it says 3+ months. Right, it says pregnant and it says 3+ months. So guys, how I found out I was pregnant, right? I started feeling extremely sleepy and nauseous. I'm like, what the heck is happening, right? Okay, so let's cut to the chase. I eventually went to my GP, but because in their medical minds, I couldn't get pregnant without their intervention, he didn't think to take a blood test to test if I was pregnant. Although I was feeling nauseous, I threw up twice in one day. I was having diarrhea, constipation, sleeping 15 hours of the day, feeling extremely fatigued. Started feeling tenderness in my tummy. My tummy was extremely bloated. I couldn't understand what was happening. They didn't think to test me for pregnancy. So one day I returned to the GP, and you know, I lay on the bed and he was checking my stomach. So when he pressed on my left side of abdomen, I said, ouch. So he said, I'm sorry, did I do that hard? I said, no, but it felt quite tender. He said, okay, guess what? I'm going to send you to do 3 ultrasounds on your pelvic area and we'll see. So guys, I went to do the ultrasound, and that is where I found out, guys, that I was pregnant, because he was testing me. I also did blood tests for cancer, celiac disease, kidney disease, and other things. So I was extremely worried that, guys, I may die. So to know that instead I was bringing life, it was amazing. It was traumatic. It was confusing. It was conflicting. I was scared, to be honest. I'm like, I'm not going to tell anyone, because what if it doesn't really come to fruition? So I was scared to tell anyone at all, you know. And I started thinking about all the things I was lifting and doing at work, and the job that I do, because it is so physically challenging at times. And I started worrying, you know. But then I'm saying, why would I worry? I waited all these years for this baby, so why would God give me this baby and then take it away from me? And I'm not saying this to say other persons have miscarried or have had losses is because God wanted to take it from them. I'm just saying that this is the only thing that gave me some solace. And so I said it to calm my nerves, calm me down and feel a bit better. And so I said it, you understand, guys? And it did help. But yeah, so yeah, guys, I'm 7 months pregnant, you know. I'm Dove London, and I am asking you to join me on this journey, you know, of motherhood and parenting. If there's going to be like any travel vlogs or cooking vlogs, just basically my simple lifestyle here, living in London. That's my aim, to just show you my simple lifestyle living here in London. And yeah, guys, so that's how I found out that I'm pregnant, you know. And it's been a wonderful journey for the most part, especially when I found out why I was sleeping, why I was doing that. Oh guys, guess what? The second time I vomited, right? The second day I vomited 5 times in that day. And I vomited gold. I was shocked. I've never seen gold vomit before. And then when I went to work, I told my coworkers, no, I didn't tell my coworker. She asked, she's like, have you vomited gold as it? I'm like, oh, so that's actually normal then for people to I said, it's actually normal then for women to vomit a gold looking substance? She said, yes, that's just what happens, you know, because it happened 5 times that day. But guys, honestly, I can say, in all, it has been a good journey. I haven't had swollen feet, I haven't had varicose veins. I have felt nauseous, but especially if I don't eat right away as I'm feeling the nausea. But I vomited only 2 days and I'm almost 7 months. I do not have that water thing filling in my mouth. I don't have the swollen nose, face looking, you know, I haven't put on much weight. Let me see if I can stand and show you what I look like. This dress is a little bit big, because see, this is my tummy almost 7 months, see? This is the tummy, guys. This is my body. You can see it. So, I know you don't know me, well, most of you won't, but I haven't put on much weight, you know? The only thing is that I'm starting to feel heavier. I'm getting tired, you know, traversing stairs and so on, but all in all, it has been a blessing. It has been a blessing, guys, I'm telling you. The one thing that kind of worries me is the fact that I don't have family here, I don't have friends here, so that will make my journey a little bit challenging, but I wanted this, yeah? I went and got this, I have to deal with it, right? Anyway, guys, so I'm Dove London, and I will see you in my next video. And until next time, the journey continues. Bye, guys.